old age can play a lot of cruel jokes.
Excuse me, ladies, but we always dress for dinner here. And in your case, we'd appreciate it if you do that for all 3 meals.
It's weird. I wanted those 3 days over, and now that they are, I kind of feel I'd like some of it back. I mean, any second that door is going to open, and that doctor is going to tell me my future.
Your future?
What? She let me buy the tickets!
It was that easy just because you said how much you wanted to see Frank Sinatra?
Yeah, that and that I only had 3 weeks to live.
Dorothy!
These are desperate times, Rose.
Boy, I'll say. Today when I went to the dean's office, tickets...
Chicago in the dead of winter.
He didn't plan it that way. He lost the map. He didn't know where he was going.
I could have told him where he was going. I told you where he was going the first time I met him. Nowhere. That's where he was going. You married a bum.
Oh, excuse me. We're having a problem with the car.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm starting my...
This is our slumber chamber, and here's my card. How may I be of service to you?
Well, Mr. Pfeiffer...
That's P. Pfeiffer. The P is not silent.
Mr. Pfeiffer...
I know it didn't turn out so well, but it was an honest mistake. Besides, something good came out of it. We learned to make souvlaki.
The point is, Rose, you do this kind of stupid thing all the time. And if you're not doing something stupid, you're saying something stupid or wearing...
Honey, why don't you stay here? You can share my room. It's certainly easier than arguing with her, right? I'd like you to meet my 2 dearest friends. This is Rose and Blanche.
Hello.
My sister, Gloria.
Welcome to Miami.
Oh, well, thank you.
Oh, Gloria, Sophia's told us so much about you. I
Hello. Hello. Do you have a match?
I think so. Let's see. Here you go. Ma.
What's going on?
Honey, I'm sorry, but I have to talk to you. Dennis is here. He told Kate that he was sorry for what he did, and they've made up.
I like you very much, Rose. You know, you're very special. I'm just lucky to be smart enough to see it. You know, life's a ball...
And how did Mrs. Doolittle's hair get singed? Did it herself? I think not.
I had a very bad fight with my sister once.
Oh, really? Tell us about it.
I turned her over to secret police.
And
what?
I had a nice time tonight, Blanche.
you know, I did too.
And I wasn't sure I would, if you want the truth.
What?
Well, this may sound funny, but I kept thinking, here I am, you know, so bald and so heavy, and what if I show up and Blanche looks just...
Really, I do.
Oh. I'll never forget what you've done for me.
It's all over. What time you want?
That'll help ease the lonely nights. Thank you.
Oh, I see you two are getting acquainted.
Yes, I'm just going to take my stuff to my room. It's that second on the left down the hall there.
Dorothy, the second on the left is mine. Blanche had promised it to me.
Blanche promised it to me too, didn't you, Blanche?
Whoops.
And the fans, they went crazy. They were screaming and jumping up and down just like it was the 60s. I mean, everyone except me. I mean, I had a fabulous time, but I managed to retain my dignity.
Morning, blokes.
No, it's true. Possum is brain food.
You know, I had a nanny when I was a child. She was my best friend. I could tell her anything, and I'd know she'd keep it a secret. Oh, we used to spend the days running and playing in the meadow, or playing hide and seek.
I went to a drive-in with Stanley. He said he was being shipped off to Korea and would probably die, and it would mean so much. That was my part of the war effort. It took 3 seconds. I wasn't sure that we had done anything, actually.
I start to cook. A few hours later, he comes back. He says he couldn't find a cab. We eat in silence. Halfway through, I look up, and he's got tears in his eyes. He tells me, this meal is like our marriage. The veal is like him, tough and stubborn.
Beautiful. I'll call you in the morning and make the arrangements. So long, Sophia. You're beautiful, too.
Why did I ever marry that man?
Because he knocked you up. Sophia's out on bail awaiting her trial.
Well, if Dorothy had said it, you'd think it was brilliant.
So, this is life on the outside. It's changed. You've all gotten so old.
Ma, knock it off. You were gone an hour. If anyone's upset, it should be me.
I can't believe that stupid airline lost our luggage. What are we going to do?
Ask Blanche. She's the expert when it comes to checking into hotels without luggage.
I can't believe somebody stole my bags.
Oh, honey, don't worry about it. With all the money we're going to win, you'll be able to replace those bags and...
Maybe subconsciously you were trying to block my marriage because you like me living here.
Okay.
And Sophia, maybe you wanted to tell me about Miles and Dorothy kissing because you're just a mean old woman like the paper boy said.
Here you go, Padre. Thanks for everything. Brother, can you spare? I want to go out with you.
But we shook on it and everything.
If it makes you feel any better, I'll go out with you.
Instead of her, I go out with you?
Right.
Okay.
So good to see you again, Blanche. And who have we here? Hello, I'm Susan Dodd.
I'm Clayton, Blanche's.
What brings you guys to Miami? Wait a minute. I'll bet this has something to do with the St. Olaf Woman of the Year award.
Oh, no wonder she's a finalist.
Did I win?
Not yet. A lot will depend on verifying the facts in this here biography.
Oh, this is so exciting. Look, I'm not going out with him. You go, Blanche. What? Well, you like him. I know you do, so you go. What? I couldn't.
Of course she couldn't.
You stay out of this, darling.
Well, what?
He can belch out the chorus to Sweet Georgia Brown on one Dr. Pepper.
Well, I'm going to go talk to Swin. I'll just let him down gently.
In the old country, when a woman dumps a man, the man...
Well, I didn't mean anything by that, honey. Actually, I tend to fall between sizes myself. Usually, I'm smack dab between a 4...
And a 16.
Hi, girls.
Hi, Rose.
Oh, Dorothy, is that your dress for the museum fundraiser?
Uh-huh.
Well, let's see it.
Always a wreck the night before any welterweight Division B matchup at the local arena. Of course, I'm worried about Ma. How could you do this? How could you gamble with our money?
Let me tell you a story, Dorothy. Picture it. Once every year, the women of my family got together. They danced, they laughed, they ate. It was a celebration of mothers and daughters. Don't turn your back on your mother, Rebecca. Don't let your little girl grow up without a grandmother. I'm 85 and I still cherish all the memories that I had with her.
Are you saying you're upset because the reunion went great and your sorority sisters look wonderful?
Well, of course not, Rose. That would be childish. I am upset because I was not the center of attention and nobody said I was the prettiest.
Oh, come on now, Blanche. I mean, what difference does it make?
Oh, Dorothy, you can...
All closes tonight.
Well, Ma, what do you think?
Pussycat, you look sensational.
You really think so, Ma?
I really think so. I've never seen you look so beautiful.
Thanks, Ma.
Who's the designer? He deserves a Nobel.
I don't mean to poo-poo your whole moon thing, but poo-poo.
No, Dorothy, there really is something going on here. I mean, just look how the men are all flocking around you and totally ignoring me. It's nature gone loco.
Wait a minute, that's not so ridiculous. Dorothy has her own allure. Chiefs and kings leave their wives in palaces and dance the bossa nova.
Excuse me, what does that mean?
I think it means today is placebo pill day. I'm going to bed.
This is all very confusing. Now, I'm supposed to meet a Dorothy Zbornak at this address.
Sex, Rose. I am talking sex. We don't go to dinner, we don't go to the movies, we just go to bed, and it is terrific.
All that and cappuccino, too? Well, what's the problem?
Cut off his sex.
You mean it grows back?
Yes, Rose. Enough to spend it all?
No. I mean, I just don't want him to think that's the only reason I'm attracted to him. That's why whenever we're out together, I always pretend to be totally unimpressed by his wealth.
Isn't that kind of difficult?
Oh, no, not at all. I don't give a hoot how much he has. Fact is, I think I'm falling in love.
Oh, you or anybody else. And the sooner you realize that, Rose, the happier we'll all be. Come on, Blanche.
Come on.
Change?
God, I hate that expression.
What is the big deal, Blanche? It's nothing. Look at it this way. You don't get cramps once a month. You don't go on eating binges once a month. You don't get crazy once a month.
You just grow a beard.
Because you're a slut.
Oh, slut!
Don't repeat everything I say.
Don't repeat everything you say. I'm not repeating everything you say.
You just did.
I did not. Nothing you say is worth repeating.
You, Blanche, are an amoral, backstabbing, self-centered Jezebel. And I am very glad that this happened, because now I know really what kind of person you are. Hey, Ma, that's not unreasonable.
Please, they're 85 years old. It takes Mildred 10 minutes to roll down her stockings.
Girls, you'll never guess what I got in the mail today.
If it's another one of those adult toys in the back of a sleazy magazine, I'm not interested.
I am. Let me see it.
Ma didn't go tonight. Who needs the crowds, the hassle?
You're sounding old, Pussycat. It's not a hearing aid that makes you old. It's what you're becoming by not getting one. Think of what you're missing, all the things I hear. The birds singing, the wind in the trees, the sound of the ticker tape telling you Xerox has gone up to...
You know what? Once in a while, I could pay for a nice meal, too.
Oh, well, yes, you could.
Oh, Ma, this is all my fault. I should be a person who's more accepting. I mean, it isn't like I'm Miss Perfect.
I gave you, does it say cream chip beef and Polish sausage are okay to eat? Leonard, you're 5 feet 6 inches. You weigh 300 pounds. What do you mean you can carry it? Beacons couldn't carry it. Okay, make an appointment for tomorrow. Come by the office. We'll talk about it. Right. Yeah, goodbye.
I'm leaving. I'm not about to mourn a man who's been with every woman in this room.
He was never with me.
I guess even he had his standards. Hold it. Stay where you are. Father, if you don't mind my saying so, I think you lost control of the room.
Look what we were both about to do. We got on the ship. Most people never even leave shore.
You mean that?
Of course I do. You and I still have a lot of adventures left in us. So many things we haven't tried. Have you ever been to Space Mountain at Disney?
Oh, I know.
Come on, Ma, too easy.
That's what I was going to say.
My talent is molding men. And I'm not doing this just for myself. I'm doing it for baseball, for the fans. The community expects something of me.
I know.
You see, I am 44 years old.
Wow, this is great. I was afraid we wouldn't have anything in common. We're almost the same age.
Rose, you make her sound like an old woman. Actually, she's much closer to my age.
Lorraine, these are my roommates. That's Blanche Devereaux, Rose. Now,
Hello, Rose.
Oh, hi, Miles. I was just listening to a song Charlie and I used to dance to.
We've danced to it, too.
Not around a campfire hoping for rain.
Rose.
Wife, Anna Maria Bonaducci.
I can't believe it.
What do you say about my hunches now, Dorothy? 5 more minutes, I would have had it.
Oh, how could you know? No.
sweetheart, this Friday I can choose between rubbing elbows with Norman Mailer or doing the hokey pokey in a horse costume with your behind in my face.
Well, which is it going to be?
While we at the 4th of July picnic, the whole town is here.
To hell with this town. Come away with me.
But you're a drifter, Biff. I can't just pull up stakes and run off with you.
Please reconsider, Josie. You're the prettiest girl in the county. I need to have your answer now. What's it going to be?
I want you to...
Meanwhile, we really should get going.
Well, I'll call you next week, Mama. Happy Mother's Day.
Bye, sweetheart.
Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah, right.
That's very funny, Rose. Yeah, I'm gonna grab a bite to eat. I passed this burger joint around the corner. Look like there might be some kids here.
Oh, but Donna, wait a minute, you just got here. Oh, I'd really prefer you to stay.
I planned a special meal for you, David.
Tomorrow, I love leftovers.
Well, what time will you be back? See what Dorothy's hiding from us. Pictures and doodads. What's this? Huh, 1920. Well, Sophia, you wrote this. Things I want to accomplish before I die. The list you found my list. Oh, Blanche, read it to me. Those were my dreams, my goals.
That is Sonny Bono. He's a major television star.
Boy, you have been gone a long time.
Blanche, I know you're shocked and that this has caused you incredible pain.
You might say that.
Now, I didn't do it to be cruel. It may seem cowardly, but
And a little time with your daughter.
That remains to be seen.
Rose, would you excuse us just for a minute?
Sure, I know that tone of voice. Somebody's gonna get.
Ma, I'm going to ask you a question.
Your cousin Gunter will be happy to take baby, as well as the $100,000 that comes along with him.
I beg your pardon?
Uncle Hingelbroder was a very rich man, and he loved this pig dearly. That's why he left you $100,000 to make sure baby would be well taken care of.
Well, I just love weddings.
Oh, me too, me too.
You think you'll ever get married again?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think so.
Me neither. How about you, Blanche?
Oh, absolutely. If the right man ever came along. Of course, he'd have to have the body of a Mr. Mel Gibson, the personality of a Mr. Johnny Carson, and the financial resources of Mr.
Dorothy, he's still family. It's your fault he's family, but let's not dwell on that now. The yucks could die.
Sophia's got a point. What am I going to do?
Stan, Ma's right. You're going to come here to recover. You can have my room. I'll move in with Ma till you're feeling better.
Sophia, Dorothy, you're the greatest.
Stu, this is such a coincidence. I was driving down Biscayne Boulevard.
No, please, I cannot bear that again. She was listening to her car radio. Big band, not all talk. There was a contest. Something about a little voice, a lucky number, and a dime and a door handle. Then bim, bam, boom, she won the tickets.
Take us of the Catwoman?
I'm a mother. I know these things.
Good night, Ma.
Good night. Then, well, until I was 17.
What happened then?
Your father put his hand in my blouse. So I felt soiled, filthy, dirty. You know, in love. But this time I'm gonna fulfill my destiny.
So, the reason you want to use our cars is so you can deliver pizzas?
No, actually, what I would really like for you girls to do is be my drivers. I belong in the front office, supervising, franchising, teasing the high school girls that work for me. I sense I may have just lost you. Oh, what the...
Okay. Where's Derek?
Oh, I'm sorry, Blanche. The police came for him and he ran away.
He's gone? Gone again?
Are you all right, Blanche?
Oh, yeah. Girls, there are just shivers up my spine. His eyes could be on me right now. Oh, the tension's unbearable. Can you feel it?
Yes, I can. It's unbelievable. Where's the damn waiter?
Dorothy,
Lyle!
I hope I'm not intruding.
Not at all. What are you doing?
Pleased to meet you, Mog.
Thank you. And this is my mother, Sophia Petrillo.
So, you're Stan's cousin.
Please don't hold this against me.
She's okay.
Sit down. Tell me, where's Stan? Is he parking the car?
I take taxi. Stanley and I have disagreement.
Oh, what about?
He saw himself...
Total fool of myself in front of the press. I'm the laughing stock of the entire country. What am I going to tell my mother?
Your mother's from St. Olaf. She'll understand.
I'm just stupid. I'm a dim-witted, dumb, simple-minded, grade-A Minnesota chucklehead.
Well, named Petrillo. I take offense of that. No one in my family ever left a body to be found.
Okay. Could I come in? I felt so safe with you.
Listen, I felt safe with you when you were 3.
And you always used to smell from a Midnight in Paris perfume.
Better than this, huh?
It sure was nice.
It still is.
Gingerbread and everything, yeah? And she leaves me. What is a 6'7" American basketball player got that I don't?
Well, Angelo, speaking in terms of the gingerbread alone.
TV. We're using the household money to repair the roof and repave the driveway.
Great. And what am I supposed to do while every other old lady on the block is watching Cosby?
Well, you can sit in the new driveway and hope that an amusing black family drops by.
Maybe we could sell our old TV in Youth Center.
It's sort of a flop house for infants.
That must be the baby and her nanny now.
Hi, everyone. Sorry sorry I'm late, but you'll never guess what happened today.
Tell me later. Give me the baby and leave.
She said...
I think it's time you told her, Clayton.
Told me what?
I wanted you to meet Doug for a very important reason.
Well, why?
Blanche, we're getting married.
You didn't cover the robbery at all?
Was I wrong again? I mean, I could have covered the holdup, but it would have seemed like I was giving into sensationalism. I'm a reporter, damn it. They sent me to cover a story, and that's what I did.
I don't believe this. Rose, this was the opportunity of a lifetime.
Yes? Yes, she does. It's the police. There's been an accident.
You promised me you wouldn't drive alone. Rose. Rose. Rose, will you wake up? You have a call.
Is it time to milk the cows, Daddy?
No, kitten. You have a phone call.
What did you say, Dorothy?
You have a phone.
Nothing but no good money-grubbing trash. Oh, baby, forgive me.
Get a hold of yourself.
Rose, I apologize.
Rose, so do I. Oh, Rose, can you ever forgive us? Rose.
That's a great idea. I love what you made the last time. What was it called? Gherkinflunken?
Oh, no, that was my uncle. The owner of St. Olave's most famous haberdashery. He came up with the slogan, "You don't have to be Amish to look Amish."
Get a hold of yourself.
What I need is for things to be like they were this morning before any of this ever happened. You know, as far as I'm concerned, George Devereaux was better off dead.
He was tall, she was short. He was cheap, she was extravagant.
He was opposites. We get the picture.
Well, anyway, I'll never forget the time they sang at our annual talent show, right after the herring juggling act.
Embarrassed at you, catching me in swim like this. Of course, you should have seen us a few minutes ago. We were feeding each other.
Blanche, look, about those dates I can't...
Oh, honey, forget all about that. I know I have.
Blanche, can I call you later?
What? Oh, sure, if you want to.
Honey, Dorothy, lighten up.
Honey.
Morning, Blanche.
Oh, the pup's still here.
Yeah, one more day, unless Ma decides to take him bar hopping.
How come you dressed so early?
Oh, I told Mr. Allen that I'd come in.
I'm getting married. What do you think about that?
I think it's a mistake.
To wear all that makeup.
I know it's fast, but I just don't know when I'll find another like him. He just... Oh, girls, he makes me feel so good, so young, so happy.
Oh, Rose.
I'm gonna have 49 more of them. We're rich.
You're half right. Blanche, you just paid $50 for those. You should split them.
Split them? Are you kidding? Don't be crazy. I paid for these fair and square. You said yourself all deals are final.
Charlie would want me to have them.
George,
where are you going?
Back to the studio. There's only one thing left to do.
Who was that nut? I don't know. Mr. Terrific usually comes in alone.
So you see, it's very important that...
Check him out. Dorothy's a smart, attractive girl, but when it comes to picking men, she's all thumbs. But she's clean and she's got good teeth. Cannoli?
I had to tell somebody, and I couldn't wait another minute. Glenn asked me to marry him.
I have been hiding something from you. I can't tell you where he's been, but Miles is back. He's staying with me.
I understand, Rose. And don't worry about your secret.
It won't go any further than me.
Now it's time to meet our new applicants and hear their lineage presentation.
Oh, Dorothy, a man called for you while you were out.
Finally, now we can break out that bottle of champagne we've been saving. Come on, Dorothy, we might not get another chance.
Oh, sure we will. We can just serve it at the wake. I pass.
Me too. I'm not touching that.
I mean, I put on 12 pounds just from dinner alone.
Let's go for a walk. Right, burn it off.
Are you kidding? After what we ate, we'd have to walk.
Oh, Dorothy, hi, Rose.
Wait, what's with this suitcase? I thought you...
I decided I do have to go.
But you were going
Dorothy,
to stay...
would you mind if I spoke with Jean for a minute?
No, fine. Go ahead. Rose, it's the middle of September. What are you doing?
Oh, it's a banner Charlie made. I thought it'd be nice to have some good memories of him around me. He put it up every year. He was one of a kind, all right. Loved Christmas.
Loved Christmas?
No improvement.
I'm sorry. By the way, you're wearing your knee brace on your neck. I know Ma is faking. She is not really paralyzed.
It's only natural for you to feel that way.
Art can be appreciated by humanity. Dorothy, you're here as a substitute teacher to educate our youth. And Rose, you're here because the rhythm method was very popular in the 20s. Okay? I'm going to the movies. Goodbye.
Scene on the plane and phoned it back in, and that became the cheesecake scene. Is that
cheesecake scene?
The first cheesecake scene, which was the same scene that we went and did at the Royal Variety Performance when we went over to
I
London.
did write a scene on a plane. I don't know if it was cheesecake, though.
No, it was the mirror.
Yeah, but it was all around.
Don't worry about it. You won't be needing it. Dorothy, get dressed. You're fine.
I beg your pardon?
We've run every test known to man. They're all normal. You can get dressed, go home, enjoy your life.
But Dr. Stevens, I was always healthy, and then I came down with this flu. I can't get rid of it. I've been sick for 5 months now.
God spoke to you. You haven't been eating chili dogs again, have you?
That was an honest mistake, and to clarify, that's when I thought God was whistling to me. This was him talking.
Oh, Ma.
Don't you think I know how crazy this sounds? But it really happened.
Ma, I don't believe. Let's say 1 to 6 months.
Dorothy, I have a stack of papers that we need to go over before the surgery.
Surgery?
Finally going ahead with that hair transplant?
Sophia, not everybody knows this isn't real.
Oh, please. Stevie Wonder could tell it's a rug.
Believe me, I wish it.
Fed twice a day. Walk her after her second meal. And don't give her anything liquid after 10.
Hey, what is this? You're talking about me like I'm an animal. You've been with a man, haven't you?
Honey.
Do you like some more beer?
Oh, no, thanks. I'm fine. What am I saying? I am not fine. Look, Lucas, this isn't your fault. I do not go out on blind dates. I mean, this is as silly as I have felt in a long...
Good, I get him a scotch and we go in the closet.
No, it's about Stan and me.
You know something, Dorothy? On your wedding day, Sophia told me, she said your marriage is never gonna last. That made me very sad. And now to see you and Stan is so happy.
Angela, you really don't have to go.
Thank you, Dorothy. I'd like to stay, but I hate your mother. Goodbye, ladies, and thank you for everything.
She's still here? No.
What?
No, I won't watch the kids.
But you love it when the kids come over for a visit.
That's not the point. I won't let you throw away good money. This TV thing is just a fad.
Hey, did you notice turkey comes with stuffing?
Ma, TV is not a fad. Otherwise, Swanson would have called those radio dinners.
4 years is a long time. Maybe he's divorced.
What you think?
Well, sure. Why else would he call?
Oh, stay away from him.
Oh, see him. Keep some self-respect. Self-respect is for losers like Rose.
Well, sure, you'd have some great times and some fabulous sex, but is that worth your self-respect? Not now, Lucy.
Symptoms, depression, fatigue, symptoms very much like the ones you described.
Look, Dr. Stevens, I don't think you understand, so I'm going to tell you again. I am at a point now where I am so exhausted that sometimes I cannot speak. Literally, cannot speak. There are days when I can't get out of bed.
Me too. Besides, spending all your time with Sophia isn't really helping her, Dorothy. She needs to get out there and meet her own friends.
I'm not going. She needs me.
Dorothy, please give this thing you're doing some thought. Raymond is such a great guy, and he's been more than reasonable.
And he's the only man who hasn't dumped you after the first date.
He and I took a bus to Palermo to look up our old friend Teresa Defino. We spent 2 hours on the bus, another hour looking for her house. We finally find the house, knock on the door, and what do you know? She died.
Ma, it happens.
That morning!
Yeah, but aside from that, you and Augie really had a great time, huh?
There, I knew you could do it. Oh, I've just been so dumb about this whole thing. Should have respected what you wanted to do.
You really mean that?
Yes, I do.
Let me drive you to the airport, and we'll think up baby names on the way.
Great. I'll go get rid of the cab.
These letters are just a fantasy. The man is in prison for the next 20 years for armed robbery.
Blanche, I don't think it's right to lead the guy on like that.
Oh, why not? The poor man is surrounded by concrete and bars. What's wrong with bringing a little joy into his life? Nothing. Sophia.
We're all going to be turned into kumquats.
What is she talking about? Don't play dumb with me. I've been out to cast a curse myself. Do you think Shelley Long was really tired of playing in Cheers? Wrong, baby. I was tired of her.
Get it. Her mind is made up. If she said it once, she has said it 100 times.
I'm staying. Good night.
Come back. What do you mean you're staying?
What's the problem? You already rented my room?
What changed your mind?
I just got off the phone with Phil. I've never been so depressed in all my life.
Oh, Ma, it doesn't mean anything. 50 is just a number.
You don't understand, Dorothy. I always had plans, dreams, things I wanted to accomplish by the time I was 50.
What kind of dreams?
Well,
I hate it when he does that.
Mrs. Devereaux, there's someone in the bar for you.
Oh, God. Oh, girls, this is it. Can you see him, Rose?
Yes, I think I can. He's coming this way.
Oh, he's very handsome.
Every night when Rose would go to bed, she'd take the 3 elephants with her because they made her feel so safe and secure.
elephant dolls.
Right, elephant dolls. Until finally, one night, they got so sick and tired of Rose annoying them that they went off to sleep someplace else. And 2 big old escaped convicts snuck in through the window and murdered Rose in her sleep.
Well, we do a lot of things real people do.
Except for one very important thing. Boy, is that going to put a hitch in Dorothy's plans. Hello, I'm Rose Nyland. You must be Frank. It's a pleasure to finally meet you.
Well, thank you, Rose. That's very
Nice try. $5. Spornak, we found your mother. Ma, are you okay?
Of course I'm okay.
Oh, Ma, thank God. Give me a hug.
Okay, now you 2 hug.
Go. Ma, do you know what time it is? You're what? Oh, the hell you are. Listen, you are not spending the night at Rocco's. Look, as long as you live under our roof, you will abide by our rules.
Get
I just lapse into Swedish? Read it and weep. Tales of Tunda the Tiger and His Friends by Hans Christian Luckerhoven. Well, who's Hans Christian Luckerhoven? Only St. Olaf's greatest author. He wrote the classic fairy.
I would say I always felt safe having you in the house. And I would say I always enjoyed talking to you when I'd come home from one of my numerous dates.
Where every cottage is April in Paris.
And every bathroom, Calcutta in July.
Do you remember how I convinced you to let me back into bed?
No.
I've got a crush on you, sweetie pie.
Elvis would never have left this much meat on a pork.
Dorothy, you're out of the club. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, ladies. See you next week.
Pictures, no slides, and no walks down memory lane.
I'll come with you.
What are we, nuns? We don't have to travel in pairs. I'm out of here. Hey, Sam, what's that you're playing?
I'll take care of him.
Sit down, Sophia. You must be exhausted. Why, I rode in the cab. I didn't push it.
Oh, Sophia, honey, how nice to see you.
Who are you? It's me, Blanche. You look like a prostitute.
You couldn't possibly have gone through everything. Well, Kirsten, times have changed. Money just doesn't go as far as it used to.
We just came to help.
No, actually, you were gone so long we were afraid you two were making another log.
In 15 years, you managed to piddle...
Loom Furniture! Retail price for this magnificent prize, $12,000. But that's not what you picked.
Thanks for pointing that out.
You're welcome, Dorothy. Let's see what's behind window 2. It's a brand new car.
I'm gonna do it.
Oh, come on, Ma, you can't be serious.
Sarah is dying. It's terrible, but I can't change that. And I really care for Marvin. And if we can all be happy together and not be alone, what's wrong with that? Somebody asked me about Frank Sinatra.
We were asking Rose why she's nervous about seeing her daughter.
Then try to stay on the subject. Why are you nervous, Rose?
Well, I'm nervous because I made Kirsten executor of my will, and I have to go over the documents with her.
Well, honey, she's a big girl. I mean, this may not be the most pleasant conversation you two are having her to lunch.
I don't get it. All of a sudden, you two are best friends?
Well, maybe I've changed. For once, everything is going well. My sister is in my life. Stan is out of my life. I'm not even going to see him for 2 whole years. Everything is perfect.
Hush, pussycat. Ida's ankles are swelled up like a blowfish. Let's see how the hurricane's going.
Some talk about us going up to Palm Beach to be in the cotillion.
Oh, that's wonderful, and I'll be back in dancing shape by then.
Well, you don't understand. We've changed our act. We're no longer the tip-tap trio.
Huh? Who are we now?
Well, we're now known as...
Isles. Oh, that'd be great. Dorothy's Bornak.
Fine. We'll call you, and you'll be seeing a counselor and then the doctor. Meanwhile, just take a seat. Ms.
Zbornak.
Belle and I spent our most intimate moments there.
Ma, is there anything I can do for you?
Yeah, stay out. You barged it on me enough when you were a kid. They're yours. You want them fair and square.
Oh, come on. What are you talking about? You and Rose won that tournament.
Please. You blew it on purpose. The 9-pin for the spare is your best shot. You could make that shot all day long. Here, enjoy them.
Okay.
That ball past your hip.
Rose! Everyone is finished and I checked the score. If you can pick up a spare in the last frame, we'll be leading the tournament.
Consider it done, Mom.
Go to it.
I really didn't want that job anyway. I don't need that kind of pressure in my life.
You know what you're gonna wind up with in your life? Nothing. Then what are you gonna do? Sponge off your kids? Move in with them? Have them take care of you? Okay, bad example.
Modified sort of Southern accent. And then when we got picked up, I remember being in your office, and I'd been thinking about how to play her and not play her Southern. And I thought, okay, so back in July, this was in March, I guess, that we did the pilot.
Can you believe it? Two women competing like that, and there's not even a man at stake.
In Sicily, women compete for everything. The most famous example is the Great String Cheese War of '47. Why should I bore you with that? You all have college education.
Why can't grief take a holiday?
Oh, it does, Rose, it does. Eventually it comes to Miami like everyone else.
Oh, my God. I don't believe it.
Barry Glick is in town. Oh, I haven't seen him since high school. Oh, Rose, wait a minute. I won't have to wear horns or one of those metal brassieres.
Oh, no, Dorothy. I'm the one that's getting married.
Then I'd love to.
A blessing for the couple.
You invited a rabbi to a moonlight madness party?
It's my mouthwash. Ha ha, the joke's on you, I don't use it.
Oh, Ma, come on, you're just being silly. Here, have some tea. It'll relax you.
Okay. What about Dreyfus? The other day I thought he was lost, so I got a second dog, and then the first one came back.
Sophia, are you kidding me?
Come see for yourself. Wow, 2 Dreyfuses. No, 1 Dreyfus.
Oh, girls, I'm so sorry to be late. I ran out of gas on the way home. It was just horrible. Nobody would stop to help me. This could never have happened in the old South. What has become of chivalry? When men used to open doors for you, pull out your chair, tip their hat.
Bluff.
That was no bluff. I meant every word of it. I would love to have a chance to raise David. I might make up for the mess I made with Janet. I still wish you'd let us drive you to the airport.
Oh, my cab's already here.
The business. I don't know what I'm going to do. 22 years of sweat and blood, and suddenly it's all flushed down the toilet like a snotty ball of Kleenex.
You could always write poetry for a living. I'm sorry. I know how devastated you must be. I have one question.
You certainly wouldn't have worn those shoes with that dress.
Oh, now, just a minute here, Mr. DeKimmel. I see no reason for you to be insulting my friend Rose or her shoes. Oh, my Lord, look at those things. The Pilgrims landed in nicer shoes.
Yes, do forgive me, ladies.
This group of children laughing at her, and in the bubble coming out of her mouth it says, "It's not funny. You try getting white bread and mayonnaise out of your braces." And then in the third panel...
Rose, how many panels are there?
16. And then in the next panel...
would you just tell us the gist of it? Rose, how could you do that? Don't you know what's going to happen? This is going to end up in all the tabloids. I can see it now, right next to Woman Gives Birth to Doc Severinsen look-alike. Dorothy Zbornak meets spacemen.
Why do you get all the credit? Girls! His memory. There's Charlie, my husband, not Charlie, my granddaughter. But you'd know that if you were still awake. But then today, I found that the lies I've been telling about Charlie are hurting Charlie. Husband and granddaughter, respectively.
You always wanted to open. We could stop the sale of that property and finally build the home we always dreamed of. There are so many things that we can do together, Dorothy. So many things you can't do alone. Don't answer me right now. Just think about it, please.
I think you dated anyone before Charlie.
Actually, it was while I dated Charlie.
Rose Nyland, you were in a love triangle and never told us.
Well, I didn't think you'd be interested.
Oh, but you were certain that we would be interested in the story about little Yemeni, the boy who was raised by a wild moose? Why did I ever let that happen?
Because he got you drunk.
Why am I even discussing this with you?
Eats the hell out of me.
Let's eat. I brought you your favorite.
Oh, you're such a sweetheart. Chinese.
No, Italian.
Look, there's been no change on the Petrillo case. We are very busy. We'll call when we can.
Yeah, listen, buddy. Sophia may be just another case.
Well, lovely as that sounds, Kenny, I usually skip breakfast. When you reach 45, you have to keep an eye on your figure, if you know what I mean.
Blanche, who do you think you're fooling?
Oh, all right, 48.
It's not what I mean. I mean, what are you doing in this place? You don't belong here.
I most certainly do.
Rose, here are the poems I was going to read. Look, why don't you look them over and we'll discuss them the next time we're all together,
So long.
Bye, Blanche.
Actually, I was describing the evening.
Yeah, Burnett. Miles Weber. I just heard about the cheese man on top.
And you achieve a perfect fit. Come on, old woman, we need shoes now.
Never heard of that before, but it's marvelous.
Oh, you just throw together some ground pork and cabbage.
Cabbage she serves me in 10 minutes. I could be skywriting.
What is that giant velvet painting of dogs playing poker doing out on my front lawn?
Intriguing passers-by if I know my art lovers.
And the clothes and the trunk and the boxes. You're not having a yard sale, are you?
What's wrong with that?
Are you kidding? I don't...
It's a dinner party, and I plan to show cleavage.
Well, if anybody's going to do it, it should be me.
Why you?
Because I am the best under pressure.
And she bears a striking resemblance to Barnaby Jones.
We haven't actually met, and I know this may sound a little bold, but I was wondering if... Do you suppose you might like to go out and have a cup of coffee or something?
I'd like to, but at the moment I'm pretty heavily involved with 122.
Oh. Sounds like...
Look, I know it's wrong, but I was confused, so I called Dr. Halpern, and he's coming over right away. This is all my fault.
No, it's my fault. Maybe it's my fault. I mean, who goes to their room in the middle of the day without knocking?
Oh, Pussycat, you've come too.
Who's Guido Spirelli?
Guido Spirelli was my first husband in Sicily. It was an arranged marriage I had to know. I left him a broken man. And I vowed one day I would make amends.
You know, Sophia, finding this list was a sign. You must make things right with that man. Now go to your room and write him a long letter.
Beef. But when I get home, I find these crummy little hard pieces, you know, from the end. Anyway, today I went in with a positive attitude. I told myself, this man is my friend, and I know he is going to give me a good cut of meat. Look.
It's a miracle! Oh, graham crackers.
Cheese and crackers, Rose. Not eggs gefluffy? Ham and Gunterhagens? Pigs and a Svenkabluten?
No, but you sure know how to make a... That should take care of it.
We're all out of fresh pepper. Do you have any more? Oh, yeah, in the pantry in the back.
Oh, boy, this chicken looks great.
Girls, Count Bessie is missing. I went out to the garage to feed her, and her tired. I dreamed all last night that I was a car muffler. And when I woke up this morning, I was exhausted.
That's brilliant. How do you come up with these?
Well, I learned most of them as a child, but they're still very relevant today.
Yeah.
Ma, not now. Blanche's doctor wants her to go back to the hospital for more tests.
It makes sense, just to be on the safe side.
Oh, well, of course it does. I mean, what kind of doctor would he be if he didn't want to check out everything?
Yeah, well, if it makes him happy. If everything's as bad...
Dorothy? What is this, the Spanish Inquisition? Look, I don't have to defend myself. If I want to see Glenn, I'll see Glenn.
And they're harassing me. Murderers are free, rapists are free, but a poor widow on the floor they try to lock up. Who'd I hurt? Me.
Now look, Rose, this is it. We have had it. No mace, no tear gas, no grenades.
No jewelry. I won't be missed from my ancestors. The Vikings were a seafaring people, you know.
They also wore horns on their head and metal braziers. This is not the same.
So he dumped you, huh?
He did not dump me. Jeffrey is being transferred to the Aleutian Islands. He's going to a top-secret base where he can't have any...
Has a great experience, but your mother is a nut.
No, I never said that.
Then why won't you talk to me about the white light?
It scares me, all right? It makes me feel like you're embracing death, and I don't want to see that. I want you to rail against it, Ma.
I said I wasn't scared of dying anymore. I didn't say I was ready to die.
Decision?
We're very sorry, sir. Nurse, do you know what happened to Mrs. Devereaux?
Oh, Mrs. Devereaux canceled her surgery. She checked herself out this morning.
Blanche, I love Joe Father.
Of course you did. Everybody loved Big Daddy.
No, I mean I love Joe Father. Get out of here. We were lovers, Blanche.
That's impossible. Big Daddy was a Republican.
She has to see what a real date is like.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Petrillo. She's just not my type.
I see. How about Mr. Hamilton? Is he your type?
What time should I pick her up?
7:30 and buy her something pretty.
Okay, but if you want me to kiss her goodnight, it's going to cost you extra. I know who he is. Certainly, I'm impressed.
Yeah, well, since I made all this money, you wouldn't believe all the friends I have.
How about this guy? Dorothy, you're every bit as lovely as Stan said you were.
Oh, why, thank you.
Stan.
Yeah, right. Listen.
Coke.
Arnie wants me to go away with him on a cruise to the Bahamas.
Oh. Oh, and you're upset because he wants you to pay your own way?
Because there was so much pain, I didn't think it would ever go away. But it did. And it will again. And get through it. And go on.
When it comes right down to it, what other choice do we have? It could have been a lot worse. I could have missed these last 3 years. Dorothy, are you all...
Clell Lightner.
Clell Lightner? I think I used that on my hair once.
Clell was the cutest boy at our high school. He was also the only sophomore old enough to get into a bar.
So, what did you do when you got there?
I sat in my father's truck for hours.
Tomorrow, I am going to a scalper, and I'm going to buy 4 tickets.
You better make that 3. My final exam is that night.
Oh, honey, it's too bad.
Oh, well, what difference does it make? My social life's gone down the drain anyway. All I ever do is study. You know, it cannot be good for you. It's unnatural. It's unhealthy. It's unloving.
Personally, I like to lay into a kid with a melon baller. It's got a nice weight, good balance in the hand, and it's portable.
My father used to punish us by sending us to the dairy barn to milk Alice.
No, what's so terrible about that?
You had to milk Alice sitting on a stool.
Strong, confident, sophisticated man to appreciate you. But honey, they're out there, wanting you as much as you want them.
I knew it had to be something like that. Thank you, Dorothy.
There really is one.
I feel bad for Blanche. She's done nothing but mope around this house since she and Jake broke up.
No, don't expect me to feel sorry for her. I mean, it's not very often that somebody as special as Jake comes along and she throws him away.
What's everybody doing up?
We were just talking about how dumb you were to give up Jake.
Still
Chances equally.
Equally, I figure your share should be about half. After all, you're the one who killed her.
Let's just hurry up and get this over with. Oh, Blanche, try.
Wow, he sure is handsome.
Oh.
Yeah, what did he have to say?
Oh, that he's in town on business and that he's single again and that he'd love to be my date for the museum ball Saturday night.
The museum ball. Didn't Roger Clark postpone his kidney transplant so he could be your dad?
Steele, we thank you so much. Okay, what do you think now? Don't hold back. I can take the criticism.
Depressing.
Captain of the football team. Oh, he was beautiful. Black wavy hair, strong Roman nose, and he could read.
Oh, him.
He was always putting me down, made me feel like I had no self-worth.
Dorothy, will you stop it? This has nothing to do with me.
राजा फक्त तूच माझ्या दिलाचा to my